Picture this for a second, because almost everyone watching has felt this drop in their stomach at least once. You're driving to work, maybe already running a few minutes late, when suddenly a warning light flashes on your dashboard, and instantly you know something is wrong. Logically, you understand the situation. Fixing the issue right now would probably cost around $300. But when you check your bank account, you have $42 left until Friday. So you ignore it. You turn up the radio to drown out the strange noise, and you hope the problem goes away. 2 months later, the car breaks down on the highway. Now you need a tow truck. That's $200. The small part you avoided fixing has damaged the transmission. The repair bill jumps to $2,000. Because you can't get to work, you miss shifts and lose $300 in wages. That original $300 problem has now exploded into a $2,500 catastrophe. This isn't bad luck. This is math. A predictable, measurable, suffocating equation. The cost of not having money. Welcome to Mike Invest. I spend an unhealthy amount of time thinking about the hidden mechanics of wealth and the invisible formulas that keep people running faster every year without ever moving forward. If you feel like you work harder every year but your bank balance never really improves, if one bad Tuesday could wreck your entire financial year, stay with me. Because today we are not talking about stocks, crypto, or get-rich-quick schemes. Today, we're talking about why being broke is one of the most expensive lifestyles you can live. Here's where most financial advice completely falls apart. People tell you wealth is about discipline and poverty is about bad habits. They say things like stop buying coffee or cancel your streaming subscriptions, as if saving $12 a month is going to change your life. That advice ignores a brutal economic reality known as the Boots theory of socioeconomic inequality. The idea is simple. Two people need boots. One has money, one doesn't. The person with money buys a $60 pair with solid materials and proper stitching. They last 10 years. The person without money only has $12, so they buy the cheap pair. Those boots fall apart after one season. Over 10 years, the poor buyer spends $120, double the cost, and still has wet feet. That is the math of being poor. You pay a premium for not having capital. You might be thinking this is just a story, but this dynamic is everywhere. If you have money, you buy in bulk and pay less per unit. If you don't, you buy small quantities and pay more for the exact same product. That difference is called the poverty premium. And it doesn't stop with groceries. It gets darker when you look at the banking system. If you keep $10,000 in your account, banks treat you like royalty. No fees, no penalties, maybe even interest. But if you're struggling and your balance is $20, one forgotten charge can push you negative, and the bank doesn't help you. They fine you. A $35 overdraft fee for covering $5 is effectively a 700% interest rate. If anyone else charged that, it would be illegal. When banks do it, it's policy. Every year, billions are pulled from the accounts of people with the least money, quietly transferred upward through fees. The rich earn interest, the poor pay it. And psychology makes this even worse. When people are genuinely stressed about money, studies show their cognitive performance drops significantly. The brain becomes consumed with survival, and long-term thinking shuts down. That's why financial stress leads to decisions that look irrational from the outside. High-interest loans, lottery tickets, convenience food. It's not stupidity, it's cognitive overload. The Boots theory isn't just about money, it's about mental energy. The person with resources doesn't just save cash, they save years of stress. And that freed mental space gets invested into growth. The same pattern appears with transportation. A financially stable person buys a reliable used car with low-interest financing and predictable costs. Someone with bad credit and no savings ends up paying massive interest on a car worth far less than the price tag. And often, the car breaks down before the loan is even finished. That's the poverty trap in full resolution. You're not paying for transportation. You're paying a risk premium because you don't already have money. Housing works the same way. Renters pay every month and build nothing. Owners build equity and reduce costs over time. But buying requires savings that are nearly impossible to build when rent takes most of your income. Being poor is expensive because you end up renting your entire life, your home, your money, and your stability. There's also a hidden tax on your time. Without resources, everyday tasks take longer, cost more effort, and drain future earning potential. When time disappears, opportunity disappears with it. This is uncomfortable, but understanding the math is the only way out. For someone struggling, the best investment isn't the stock market, it's eliminating high-interest penalties. Paying off high-interest debt is a guaranteed return no market can promise. This is why the emergency buffer matters. That first $1,000 changes everything. A flat tire becomes an inconvenience instead of a disaster. Small problems stop turning into life-altering crises. Liquidity lowers stress, and lower stress leads to better decisions. You have to start looking at purchases not as spending, but as permanently solving problems. Stop asking whether you can afford the monthly payment and start asking what the total cost will be over time. The system depends on you focusing on short-term numbers. Your advantage comes from understanding the lifetime cost. Use frustration as fuel. Every fee, every penalty, every convenience charge should push you toward building liquidity. Audit your life for costs that exist only because you don't have money. Find the biggest leak and eliminate it permanently. This journey isn't fair, and the climb from zero is brutal. But once you understand that poverty is a mathematical penalty and not a personal failure, the strategy changes. You stop blaming yourself and start attacking the penalties. You buy the boots that last, you avoid the bad loans, and eventually you walk out of the hole. If this video made you realize you've been paying the poverty premium without even knowing it, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe to Mike Invest. We're going to keep exposing these hidden financial traps until more people finally get the boots that last.